afternoon and welcome back to this build of a 1/32 scale Sea Vixen. You've missed me for a couple of weeks because of Christmas and I had a stinking cold, so that's why I haven't been around. So we're back to the PJ Productions figure on a resin cast seat. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the face mask, the oxygen mask, from the PJ figure and transplant it to the copy of the head which I attached to the PJ original figure. Hope that makes sense. Both of the arms are attached and any excess glue, because I used super glue, was removed with the debonder from the company, the same make of the super glue. In this case it's Bob Smith's Industries and I use exclusively their super glues because they give me a good result. You can see that I've taken a control stick, and in this case I've taken it from another kit. I can't remember what it was. I attached it to his hand, so now we have a much better looking figure in a realistic pose, ready to be added to the kit when I get to that stage. You can see that a lot of the detail is not really visible as it is right now, so I actually went ahead and painted him with a primer. But before that, looking at the figure, he needed a couple of things. The first one was some straps to make him homogeneous to the actual seat, and for this I used some sheet pewter which I had cut into thin strips, and that was attached with the Bob Smith's Industries thin super glue. This worked out quite nicely and gave a pleasing result because the pewter is quite flexible and allows me to manipulate it to have a natural drape, if you like. Next up was the attachment points to his face mask, and I used a little bit of sprue for that. Off he went to the spray booth, and for this I used Mr. Surfacer 1000, and into that was added some Mr. Leveling Thinner, and this was put through my airbrush at about 30 psi. Quite a thin mix, and this was built up over about 5 or 10 minutes. Now this airbrush is actually one which I bought off a online auction site, and it's a compressor built into an airbrush. Now it's only a little cheap Chinese affair, but to have on my desk it's absolutely superb because it allows me to do small jobs. Suffice to say I did this one in the proper spray booth, and this is the Mr. Surfacer 1000. It now brings everything together and it's under one coat of primer. So next up is to use the zenithal lighting technique to actually gain some shadows which will help in the painting process. And for this I always go to a black which is sprayed from the bottom. Now again, this is thinned with cellulose thinners. This is my proper airbrush, it's an Iwata HPCH, and I'm aiming from below to actually give some shadows. Now they're false shadows because all that this is doing is falling into the areas which are visible from below, and essentially the technique is to take a contrasting paint, which in this case is white, and do exactly the same, very thin, but this time from above. What it creates three tonal variations: a white highlight, a mid-tone grey mid layer, and the black base layer. All in all, this allows you then to go back to the painting process and use Vallejo acrylics over the top of this in thin washes, and that will give you some shadows. Anyway, I hope that you've taken something from this episode. Cheers for now. Bye.